Welcome back. We've just been to St. Sinner's Hospital in search of Mr. Shlomes, and he wasn't there because he's having surgery right now, but we're going to head back to Baker Street and then head on over to the pawnbroker to see if we can get closer to the scene of the crime and get more information. So, Baker Street first. This place feels different to normal today for some reason. Yeah, might be a reason for that. It's been a murder. Oh. Can I not investigate anywhere? It's already been 2 months that we've been taking lodgings here above Mr. Shlome's office. I still can't quite believe it. Never expected things would turn out like this. When Hurley comes back home, let's have a big party. That's a great idea. Sure, it won't be long. Mr. Shlomes is very tough. Yes. Okay. Still feel like this shop is going to be important. Just feels it. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Windybanks. I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home. Poor Iris. She's very upset by all this. I'm sorry. I was there. I should have done more. None of this is your fault, Bruno. So please, don't apologize. But it's the criminals who are to blame for all this. So let's investigate, work out how to catch them. Yes, you're right. That's it? Alright. I expected a bit more there, but okay. Let's move on to the pawnbroker itself then. th of April. Windybanks Pawnbrokery. This is where it happened then, last night. That's right, the two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables. Looking around the place seeing if I spot anything that's out of place, different. But apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance. Oh no, there's like that smashed lamp. No, you were right about that, actually. In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking. I know what you mean. Like a gang of organized criminals all dressed in black. Oh, I heard that. Yeah, it's you, Gregson. Oh, Inspector, good morning. Suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. I got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind? Yes, I'm sorry about that. I thought you'd assign extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty. Your ladyship. No one told me you were coming. I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley, and see he has the very best medical care. Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak. Somehow I doubt that. I don't think it's Runa's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The gent in black is totally blameless. Everyone is in agreement about that. Would you believe it? It's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice, refreshing fruit juice? Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some. Glug, 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 glug. Ah, nothing like a cup of tea. Lovely. Ta very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. Alright, let's look around the place, I think. I very much want to see about this lamp. Alright then, let's see what we can uncover. Oi, what do you think you're doing, sunshine? You can't touch anything in here. But we were hoping to investigate. This is a crime scene, for Pete's sake. No touching. What's the problem, Gregson? Winter's a lawyer, you know that? Oh, I'm ever so sorry, your ladyship. Ever so sorry. The rules and regulations are a thorn in my side. Of course, if Mr. Naruhodo was to have been properly appointed by the accused, that'd be another matter. Accused? Could show me some representation papers. Be only too happy to let you nose around. Alright, so back to Gina. Did you hear that, Runa? You need Ginny to sign some representation papers. It looks like presenting the detective here with the correct paperwork is the only way. Alright, well, we'll still have a word with him though, I feel. So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. Some very definitive evidence. I'm just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina? You going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow. Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me. Your ladyship, as much as I wish to oblige you, I'm afraid... Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you? What the... And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you? How could you? How? Could you possibly know that? I had a feeling, that's all. Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. You've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Shlomes, have you? Well, yes, they were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison. You should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. Mr. Shlomes? Can you tell us anything about Mr. Shlomes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential. Well, I know he's been operated on since Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know. I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital policy, no visiting at all. Oh. The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood. Oh no. It didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so. But a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Shlomes pipe down. Mr. Shlomes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They've got to stop that bleeding. But he will be alright, won't he? They'll be able to make him better? Oh, of course, your ladyship. It'll be as right as rain before you know it. Really? How do you know? How do I know? Well, because... Of course. Yes, because Mr. Shlomes is such a great detective, that's why. We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. Oh dear. Please don't die, Hurley. I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theatre. Her ladyship. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out of it, sunshine? Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper and we don't go in for favoritism. But he's right. You do treat us differently. It's because of those adventures of Herlock Sholmes stories. That's why. Oh. I crop in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson? Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's. What did you write about the inspector, Iris? I don't remember, really. It was one of Sholmes' lines. Gregson is the smartest of the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it. Oh, did I write that? And you know what the one line did for me, eh? The very next month, my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell you. Oh, that's amazing. Well, because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Herlock Sholmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me. Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me. Can you blame me? All it'd take is one bad word from you and Shlom's could change his tune about me. Gregson. No, the great detective would say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what will happen to my salary if that came out in print, eh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost worrying about it. But that would never happen, Gregson. Every month when the new Rance magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages. Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves. Oh, lovely. Glug, 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 glug. Ah, lovely. Tar very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. I like that. Oh, yeah, there's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? What is it? I've got an important message for you. You forgot about it until now. Important message? I wonder what it could be. Oh, what a message. Are you going to tell me what this important message is, then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant. Dear Susie, is she alright? She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Head off? Where? To Lord Stronghart's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah, yes, of course. I've forgotten about that. One of the whipstocks took her there in a yard carriage after we'd finished questioning her. She asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey, and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a blooming messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector. Why did Susie have to go to see Lord Chief Justice? She didn't tell me. I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice office to fetch her straight away. Alright then, so where are we going then? New location has been added. Well, I'm thinking the prison first. It makes more sense to me. What can I do to get more from her, though? Because that's the question. It's like, I need her, what was it called? I can't remember. There doesn't seem to be any new conversations, so let's head over to the, where's the, there, Lord Chief Justice. (16th of April). British Supreme Court Lord Chief Justice's office. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal. How so? I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you? Maybe it thinks the same about you. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust? Yes, thank you very much. There they are, Suzuto-san and Lord Stronghart. I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious. Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland. Wait, what did he just say? You return to your homeland? Suzuto-san. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. What was all that about? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague. What's this all about? Why were you talking about Miss Suzuto's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial? You mean... she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. What's going on here? Like, yeah, we need some information here. Returning to our homeland? Miss Susato, what's this all about? Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Yeah, but why? Your life here can continue, just... That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving? It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh dear. Oh no. Professor Mikitaba. If I may. Yes, sorry? You must be the defendant. Ryu Naruhodo, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugene Mikitaba, professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. I received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news. 10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker day by day. I don't believe it. As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. But it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible. Yes, absolutely. I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning. I believe this is happening. Gina's trial, then. Completely understandable, though. So Gina has been charged. She'll have to appear in court. Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow. No, not even 24 hours late? Oh? Gina. The Lestrade girl and the murderer of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes? An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in panic. No, the yard is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases. It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that. Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, yes, Lord Stronghart? In deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave, now. Of course, Lord Stronghart. Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. Police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend. Serious matters? Did Gregson mention something like that yesterday? He did? Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday. It's no concern of yours. I'm sure I need not remind you of that. "3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me." There's just one more thing, Lord Stronghart. Which is? It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her. A timely suggestion. Sorry? The girl currently has no representation. But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she deserves a fair trial. Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. Okay. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right. Why would she do that? A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison. Yes, thank you. Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you. What a day. Gina charged with murder. Susato's son about to leave. Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie... You're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can. Thank you, Miss Suzuto. That's a very pensive look. I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before we leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go. If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. Ooh, the noise here, it's quite overpowering. Right, so anyway, yeah, back to prison. "16th of April, local prison, cell 13. Ah, hello again, Gina. Alright, take your time. What are you lot here for now? Have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously. I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I? Yeah, maybe. Look. You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say. What? I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell. Eh? Farewell? Tomorrow I must begin my journey back home, to Japan, and we may never meet again. Oh, right. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie. Well, it ain't my business. Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them. Yeah, that's right. I can't. What of it? It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. What? It's my fault? Yes. So I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you. Eh? Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be. Oh? What are you talking about? Oh, what do you expect me to do, eh? You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths. What about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as your judicial assistant. No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted? Case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. Recalled as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? Oh, I assume that'll be a yes then. The trial 2 months ago. Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. And Compass got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent. Yeah, well, thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it. What sort of thing did you lie about? I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. Alright. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. Couldn't see a thing, and then... You heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. That's when Mr. McGilded discovered you. Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat, sat me next to the dead man. Didn't look dead there. Not much light to see by. When I looked at me hands, I had all the cove's blood all over them. I was so scared, couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight. Then Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were and why you were hiding under the seat. Yeah, he did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard. And about what he was going to do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarper before the coppers showed up. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Oh, what you saw, what you heard after the event. You said Mr. McGilded made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw. But you were in the pitch-black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you? Yes, with Mr. McGilded sitting above your head, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's true. But it was when I heard the thud with the cove hitting the floor. Let out a little scream, see? Couldn't help it. McGilded heard that and dragged me out by my arm. That's when I saw it. I was on the floor next to the old geezer what had been stabbed. A disc, bright and shiny. A disc? Do you mean... Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took off me at Windy Banks. So the music box disc was there on the floor at the omnibus. Not for long, McGilded spotted it straight away. Picked it up smartish and stuffed it inside his pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me. I went to mutter a word of it to no one. Alright, what you heard? Heard? What heard now? It was so dark under the seat in the cabin. I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while I heard the door and footsteps inside the cabin. Presumably that was McGilded getting on board. Nah, not only him. Oh. Because I could definitely make out the footsteps of 2 people. In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilded and the victim, Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. There's the book. In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilded claimed he slept during the carriage ride. Whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it. And your own testimony, Gina, supported this. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. None of them were asleep. I could hear them talking the whole time, in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of horses and the wheels was too loud. That still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other. So McGilded was lying as I suspected. after the event. I knew it weren't going to take long before someone raised the alarm and that bloke had been killed. Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly. Iris hasn't said anything during this. I find that odd, like she's studying it, waiting to pounce or something. So when the cab came to a stop, McGilded told me to hide back under the seat again. Climbed in. There, like she just changed her stance. I climbed in and waited. The two cows from up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right. And after they'd gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favour. A favour? Now then, fella. What I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now, I'll give you 10 guineas. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street? Yep, you got it. It was Windybanks. The coachee snapped up the money and ran off to pop this coat as fast as he could. So then, there was no one left in the carriage. McGilded opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there. Not without conditions. I see. Yeah, what were the conditions? What were McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean. Not telling a soul, not for anything, about what I saw and what I heard. And there was something else as well. There's more? Of course there's more, it's Ace Attorney. Yeah, this is the most important thing, he said. I'm after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all, You asked him to go pop your weasel, right? Aye. The fiend's taking me overcoat to deposit with a pawnbroker hereabouts. I want you, last, to take the redemption ticket for it. Do you understand? What? You want me to have the ticket? That's right. I'll come fetch it for you later. I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months. You're to hang on to it until then. Is that clear? Whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case I might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawnbroker shop, Windybanks, so it is. You need to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. If you get, the article will be forfeited. Any old fiend could come along and buy it. But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5, that should be enough. We understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now. If you go against me... Yeah, I get it. Good. And one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt. The coppers? Aye. They'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as a witness. Let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it that you might say, and what is it you won't? Lots and lots of dots. There's still something missing here, isn't there? Clearly. Ace Attorney again. After he'd gone over it all, I picked it. Piked it? Not sure. I got as far away from there as I could. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I had to fetch it the next day once it had gone dark. So McGilded planned it. Coerced Gina into giving false testimony. But did he kill him or not? Not entirely sure there. It's still that case of like, I still may not have done it. Bet you're ready to string me up, eh? I lied in that big old courtroom. Told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so we couldn't live in the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with. What a wicked man. He knew everything what went on in the back slums. He knew we had no one to look after us. And we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together. So you mean Mr. McGilded would have, in an heartbeat, could have had the lot of us chased out of there if we'd wanted? Then where could we have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it, you must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing a simple favour. Favour? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. Eh? You don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. Police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Shlomes was shot, you see. You what? Hurley's having a big operation right now, Ginny. Is it bad? Is he gonna be alright? Shroom's gonna be alright, right? That's why I want to investigate. For Shlomes' sake as much as anything. Alright. What you're saying is if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy. Is that it? Something like that. Miss Susita? Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. Poor Ginny. She seems so lonely. Gina's reputation papers have been entered into the court record. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windybanks now. Yes. And perhaps we can come back to visit Ginny when we're done there. Feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us investigating at Windybanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. No, he's not. To be continued in the next part. Ta-da for now.